All right, Daniel.
Yes, John.
John, there it is. So tell me, what are the three keys to getting a prospect emotionally involved in a conversation?
3 keys or 3 things you want
Three
to do?
keys.
Number one, you need to make sure you want to get them emotionally involved. That's true, right?
Yes.
Number two, you need to know what to ask them.
Fair.
And number three, you need to have built up the trust enough that they are willing to share.
Let's go there because I think that's an interesting one. Talk about some of the things that help build up that trust.
So that's all about bonding and rapport.
Yep.
It's not walking in going, hey, that's a nice piece of art on the wall. Tell me about that. Because
Yep.
every salesperson does that.
Yes.
So I look at it like psychological bonding and rapport.
Okay.
Things like if the person is a fast talker, I speed up my rate of speech.
Okay.
If they're slow, I slow down, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're louder, I speak louder. If they're softer, I speak. So little things like that go a long way. How they sit, I don't need to sit exactly like them,
Sure.
but I need to be somewhat close to that.
Yes.
Things like if they ask you for a drink, I always ask back, are you going to have something? And if they are, then I'll drink something. So we're both drinking something. So it's things like that. It's knowing what DISC is, D-I-S-C, understanding that if they're a high D, I need to act like that kind of stuff. So learn anything you can about building trust with strangers, and that will give the person more of a desire to open up with you.
Is that more just the psychological aspect of, hey, this person is like me,
Yes.
and I'm more comfortable in that space because they're acting in the way I act?
Yes. Sales are often won or lost by little things.
Yes.
So when I meet with a buyer for the first time, their walls of resistance are up, right?
Sure.
They look at me as a salesperson, and who likes salespeople? Nobody does. Nobody likes salespeople.
Yes.
So if I go in and I start acting like a salesperson, those walls get higher and more fortified.
Sure.
So I need to bring these walls down a little bit. And part of it is this isn't, I'm not trying to manipulate or be a trickster here.
Yes.
If I could summarize it this way, listen with intent. Because if I listen to somebody, it's amazing how I start to be like them.
Sure.
Just naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are like them, people, all things being equal, people buy from people that they like, that they trust, and are more like them.
Yeah, and I think that typical salesperson side of things, that's where you differentiate. We get so focused on differentiation in other ways. Don't be the person they usually see and act the way they usually act, because they go into a sales conversation going, they'll tell the person in the room next to them or somebody they're talking, yeah, I'm going to the sales call, I've done this 1,000 times, here we go again, kind of mentality.
Yep.
And when you start behaving differently, they then interact with you differently. And
Right.
that changes the tone, the feel, and the likelihood of meeting two.
I always liken it to being a general practitioner. You go into a doctor's office, they don't start telling you about all the things they do.
Right.
They start asking you questions, and that's what we should be doing as well. And doing so does separate you from every other salesperson.
There we go. All right, everybody. See you again tomorrow.
Take care.